Hello and welcome to my first Photoshop tutorial. Everything before now has been Illustrator, so I've strayed over into Photoshop. And there's always been one that I wanted to start with, and that's these neon glowing lines effects. So that's what I'm going to start with. The link in the description is to the Shutterstock image that I purchased. This is what it looks like before. It's a lovely image. It's got some nice colours. And this is hopefully what we're going to end up with these neon lights glowing around her and the reflections in the sunglasses. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is create a new layer. So there's a little plus button here. If you can't see any of these or you want to copy my setup, just jump into Windows. You're going to need a fairly decent understanding of Photoshop, but try and follow along if you want. So new layer, and we're going to go up to the ellipse tool here. And in my presets, I have got up at the top, I've got no fill, and I've got a white stroke, and the stroke weight is 20. So if I just show you there, that's pretty much what we're looking for, something along those lines. It looks a little heavy, but when we apply the effects, it's going to get a bit thinner. So the first line I'm going to draw is one across the middle, and we want something sort of around there. That looks good. So once we've drawn that, I'm going to double click on the layer, and that's going to pull up the layer styles. And we're going to do 4 layer styles here. The first one is going to be a simple color overlay. Mine have already pre-filled, so I'm going to go through the settings. Now if you click the color, you want to move your slider somewhere into the sort of pink area and click up at the top here. Again, pause if you want to use the exact colors and click OK. The next one we're going to go for is the inner glow. So if I click that, and we're going to have blend mode normal, opacity 100, noise 0, we're going to set the color to white. We want our source to be center, choke 0, size 12. Contours, we want this one here, which is the half round, and then range 44 and jitter 0. So the next one we're going to go to is outer glow. And this then puts the outside glow on there. You want a blend mode there of linear dodge add. Opacity 41, noise 0. Again, the same sort of pink color that you're working with. Spread 0, size 40, range 50. And the very last one we're going to do is a drop shadow to give us a bit more light around the neon. So this one here again is a linear dodge. Opacity is 45, your angle's 100, that should be already set, distance 0, spread 22 and size 250. Your contours are straight and the noise is 0. So once we've got that, we can click OK. Now, I mean, it looks pretty good already. So what we're gonna do is control click the layer, and we're gonna duplicate it. We can click OK. And then from there, I'm gonna move this one, rotate this one with the corner marks, and I want to get it to somewhere. Let's have a look. About there. Yeah, that looks good. And then click your tick. And we're going to go ahead and do that again. So we're going to control click the layer, duplicate the layer, click OK. And rotate this one around. It's just thinking about it. I think pulling this one quite high. Yeah, that looks good. And then click tick. So what we need to do now is cut out the bits we don't want. So we want this ellipse to be coming around the front here and then disappearing behind our arm and a body. So there's lots of different ways to do these kind of things, but the way I do it is I sort of control click the layer and rasterize the layer. And while I'm here, I'm going to rasterize all the layers, but individually. So just go through the layers and rasterize those. And what that does, it just stops it from being a live ellipse. and it becomes something I can erase quite easily. So then I'm going to zoom in a bit for this. I'm going to direct select this this shape here, press erase, and I'm going to work. Let's have a look. Where does it start? There. So I'm going to take it to about there. And erase it up to where her hair joins in there. Yeah, that one looks good. And then I'm going to press V and command click this one. So this one's going to come round the front. So I want to cut it from where the hair starts here and across to just where the hair goes in there. Yeah, that looks good. And then the last one, press V, click this one, and this one's coming from behind her arm and in front. So I want to get her arm over here, and then go across to about there. That looks good. Okay, so from here, what we need to do is affect the base image. So we've got a bit of hue and saturation going on. So if I just scroll down to the bottom, I click my base image, my background image, and then just here there's a hue and saturation layer, or I can click that and do a hue and saturation layer, and that'll pop up. I can bring the properties out here so you can see it a bit better. So my saturation, I'm going to pump that straight up to 100. And colorize, just move it around until you're somewhere in your right color range. But I think for me, I need to click colorize, sorry, otherwise it's going to go a little crazy. So for me, I want somewhere like 319, 100% saturation, and it's going to have colorize ticked. So it looks a bit too intense. So what I do is you just, once you've done that, you double click the layer, and in here you'll see this blend if, and it's a bit tricky to sort of separate these off. You have to sort of alt click, maybe command click, and bring that in a bit. And you just want to bring it in so the intensity isn't quite as harsh. I think that looks about right. And click OK. So once I've got that, what I want to do now is take all these layers and replicate them in the reflection of the sunglasses. So I'm going to click the 3 layers, and I'm going to Command C, Command Shift V, which should paste them. And then I want to go up to layers and merge layers. So that's just going to merge the 3 that I've done there. And then I can resize these. I need them to be quite small because there's not much space in the sunglasses. So there we go. And then I can zoom in on this, and I'm just going to use my eraser tool. I'm going to erase everything outside of the frames. You'll have a bit of glow on here as well, so just be aware. Going to get rid of that one entirely because it's not quite whole. So from this one, all I'm going to do here is go up to filter and blur and a Gaussian blur. And a Gaussian blur only a little bit, 1.2%, and click OK. And that just takes the edge off it. Then if I zoom out, we've got the effects that we wanted. I hope that was helpful. I hope you could follow along with it. I love these effects. You can do all sorts of different things with them. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time.